Hi, I'm Emily Rose.
And I'm Dan Phil Green. Welcome to the weekend edition of Shell Point Today for February 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
We wrap up the week today with a look ahead to trips, outings, dinners, movies, and more coming your way soon.
We are going to go to Hammond Stadium to watch our two favorite teams.
We're here today to talk about the ever-popular lobster and clam bake.
We'll get our weekly devotional from David Pavey.
I saw a clever headline the other day. Harry lands in Canada, but his future is still up in the air. Lands up in the air, have you got it?
And we'll have a look back at some of the best stories from earlier in the week.
But first, we're taking a look back on this day in history, when on February 21st, 1948, the National Association of Stock Car Racing, or NASCAR, as it would come to be widely known, was officially incorporated. NASCAR racing would go on to become one of America's most popular spectator sports, as well as a multi-billion-dollar industry. The driving force behind the establishment of NASCAR was William Bill France Sr., a mechanic and auto repair shop owner from Washington, D.C., who in the mid-1930s moved to Daytona Beach, Florida. The Daytona area was a gathering spot for racing enthusiasts, and France became involved in racing cars and promoting races. After witnessing how racing rules could vary from event to event and how dishonest promoters could abscond with prize money, France felt there was a need for a governing body to sanction and promote racing. He gathered members of the racing community to discuss the idea, and NASCAR was born. In the early years of NASCAR, competitors drove the same types of cars that people drove on the street: Buicks, Cadillacs, Oldsmobiles, among others, with minimal modifications. Today, the cars are highly customized, and there is nothing at all stock about them.
Jeff Klinkenberg is an author who covered Florida culture for various newspapers, including the Tampa Bay Times. In 2018, he won the Florida Humanities Council's Florida Lifetime Achievement Award for writing. He's coming to the Grand Cypress Room with his presentation, Alligator in B-Flat, Improbable Tales from the Files of Real Florida. Jeff is an observer who prefers swamps and shadows to sunshine banalities, a prose writer of distinction whose roots seek out, then elegantly entwine, that which is fine and funny, outrageous and rare about our beloved state. Represented by an array of eccentric and memorable characters, Klinkenberg depicts Florida culture and profiles its colorful personalities. To investigate an obscure study claiming that captive alligators respond to auditory stimulation, particularly to the key of B-flat, Klinkenberg enlists Florida's orchestra tuba player Mickelson to test the patience of the beast. Klinkenberg illustrates traditions like cane grinding and worm grunting and the life-threatening hazards of a golf ball diver, and shares the strange anecdotes of many a store owner, all with a good dose of iguanas and rattlesnakes. Floridians are a charming, talented breed, and this humorous, honest, and often touching collection of tales exhibits the melting pot of traditions and lifestyles from a journalist's eye. This Academy session is presented in partnership with the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge at 10 a.m. Saturday in the Grand Cypress Room.
Well, all that information about the Florida environment might inspire you to do more to protect it. The Green Team will have some helpful information in that regard at their monthly meeting, Saturday at 1:30 in the Manatee Room. The discussion topic will be reducing individual food waste.
Our medical director, Dr. Gary Goforth, will soon be leading a team on a missions trip to Honduras. Now, maybe you can't join them on the trip, but you can help them get ready. They'll be having a pill packing party Sunday to bundle nearly 200,000 pills using a special method that will significantly reduce shipping costs. If you'd like to join the party by volunteering, come to the Social Center on the island at 3 p.m. this Sunday.
On Monday, grab your personal beach supplies and your chair to join your neighbors for a day at the beach at Del Nor Wiggins Park. Shell Point staff will serve beverages and a picnic lunch for you. On the way home, there will be the traditional stop for ice cream at the Royal Scoop. Please note that some walking will be necessary. Sign-up is required for this trip by contacting any concierge desk. Pickups will start on the island at 8:30 a.m. The expected return will be approximately 3 p.m. The cost is $18 with lunch included. For information, call 454-2282.
Have you ever dropped by the community thrift store to find it closed because you forgot it was Monday? Well, not anymore. The thrift store is now open Mondays, and every Monday is Veterans Day because all vets get a special discount. If you've served in the military, or even if you haven't, come on out and check out Monday at the thrift store.
All's well that ends well. No, our show is not quite over. We're talking about Shakespeare. His play by that name has no problem providing continuous entertainment from start to finish with its great plot and characters. It's a bit of a travelogue with action set in Roussillon and Paris, France, as well as Florence, Italy. The play focuses upon the resourcefulness and determination of a woman, Helena, to successfully marry the man of her choosing, but not until a series of challenges are overcome. Of course, the couple's impediments end well, as you would expect. Come take a deep dive into All's Well That Ends Well on Monday from 9 to noon in the Grand Cypress Room.
If movies are more your thing, we have 2 opportunities for you to enjoy a film with friends. First, our friends from the Ding Darling Wildlife Refuge will present Queen of the Sun, What Are the Bees Telling Us? The movie viewing offers an alternative look at the global bee crisis. It will examine the damaging impact of the disappearance of bees and the unknown world of the beehive. The showing will be on Monday at 1 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room.
Your other cinematic choice is the Monday Classic Movie at 6:45 p.m., or you could make it a double feature and see both. The second film tomorrow is Forever from 1946. In 1918, Elizabeth, played by Claudette Colbert, receives notice that her husband, John Andrew MacDonald, played by Orson Welles, was killed in action during World War I. Devastated, she finds comfort with another man, and the two marry not long after she delivers John's child. But unknown to Elizabeth, John survived the war with physical deformity and returns under a new identity on the eve of World War II. And of course, drama ensues. See this cinema classic at 6:45 in the Social Center on the island. For more information, call 454-2046.
That sounds like my kind of movie.
Sounds pretty complicated.
I like it. I'm surprised I've never seen it either. Well, the Middle East has always been an enigma to observers in the West. It was the birthplace of 3 of the world's major religions and their religious books. It has been fought over for more than 4,000 years, and during this period, many nations have risen and collapsed. Whole tribes of people have been completely disappeared, and still to this day, it is torn by political unrest and conflict. What is the background to such an important yet volatile part of the world? To be able to understand this, we must step back in time and examine the main events which have led to the political and religious turmoil we see today. Session 2 of this series happens Monday at 4:30 in the Grand Cypress Room. Part 2 will cover the Medes and Persians, Cyrus the Great, Alexander, Rome, and the birth of Christianity, the birth of Islam, the Arab conquest and empire, and the Christian Crusades. That's Part 2 of the History of the Middle East, Monday at 4:30 in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands Commons.
The boys of summer are still boys in the winter, and we're fortunate enough to have a bunch of them come down here to our town this time of year. We're talking baseball, and we're heading to the ballpark to take in a Twins game.